light.
Okay.
Only one light. I have the lights on in this house. You probably hook all the Alexa stuff up, but hi. Hey. I don't tay. Hi. No, yeah, no. Yeah, no. So I don't know what to say. This feels okay. It's okay in here. That was scary. That was scary. This guy came in here and started working out. He's my friend, and he might buy the house. I think he's buying the house. He's okay, but he started working out with the heaviest ones. Like, I hadn't been doing those, but he's okay. That's not why I was scared. Weights don't have anything to do with being scared of anyone. That's just a way to work out and feel good and happy to work out with weights. However big or small weights are, you work out with whatever. Doesn't have it. It's not like boxing or fighting anyone. Those are two different things. That's why it makes no sense when they tell people they can't wear A-frame T-shirts in a club. It's really stupid. If you want to look good about the way you look and feel like you have low body fat and your body's in shape, and it makes you feel good about the way you look in an A-frame shirt, then what does that have anything to do with guys fighting each other? That's crazy. I've never wanted to fight anyone in places like that in real life. And if I did, it wouldn't matter what shirt I was wearing. I just don't get stuff like that. Why you can't wear the clothes that you feel good in about the way that you look, in places like that. And it makes no sense to me. Why they tell you what kind of clothes you can wear. But in Los Angeles, you can wear A-frame T-shirts in many of those places. But they're different rules. And I kind of like them. I kind of like them better. I Ping pong pay. It's plugged in the wall. Hi. It's plugged in the wall. I don't know if I'm going to be able to mow or want to mow. And Aaron's supposed to. I don't know. No. I'm not. I don't want to go out there. It feels like Richmond. I always had a bad time in Richmond. It's not the fault. It's not Richmond's fault. It's like some people, they went to Los Angeles and they felt so bad there. I feel sorry for them. Like they're not supposed to be there. Because I was like that in Richmond, Virginia. And it's like they just feel bad there and they don't really ever want to go again. And they don't like Los Angeles. Some people. And that's how I felt about Richmond, Virginia. Because when I was a teenager, like 18 or something, or 17, my sister, when I was 17 actually, my sister went to college there. It was like the big city in my state or whatever. And so I went to Richmond. I thought maybe I'd go to college there at VCU. It was like a cool college that kids went to, and they'd have fun, party and stuff. Those kids really partied. There was this guy who I went there one time, and he was naked, partying. All these people partying at the house, but they wouldn't have done anything wrong to him, and he was like a college kid, and he walked out on the roof naked, just doing whatever they felt like, and they felt like they were the superstars and they were famous and they could just do fun, cool things. And they got to do that in Richmond, Virginia, at their parties and stuff. But for some reason, when I went there, it was like my older sister's place that she got to feel good and okay at college. And she went out with that guy. He was her boyfriend. He was this guy who was like supposed to be kind of cool. He had long hair or something, and I don't know, but he might have short hair now. I don't even know. But he was like some kid in college who partied. He literally walked out on the roof, out some window, and stood naked, and they didn't. They didn't do anything to him. They didn't do anything to him. And but I don't know if she saw that or not or what. And so then I thought it might be fun to move to Richmond and do fun stuff I like to do. I didn't really know what exactly I was going to do when I was like 17. I thought it was like, I liked creative writing. I liked music. I liked playing music. I like rock star stuff. I thought maybe one day I'd sing, but I was too afraid to. I'd only sang one time, and it made me have anxiety. It made me feel like I wasn't comfortable with it yet. And I thought, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And those kids thought they'd be famous pretty much, or I don't, maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't think they'd be famous. But they got to party and stuff and do things that they felt like they were so cool, like on top of the world or whatever. Like they felt the best. So I went to Richmond to see my older sister when I was like a teenager. Maybe when I was like 16 or 15 and 17. And then and it just felt really bad. Really bad. Every time I kept trying to go, it was like the bigger city. And the only band that made it from there was Guar, and I thought they were really cool. They had these tapes, but I couldn't even tell what they sounded like. I didn't even like the way their music sounded, but I thought they looked really cool. It looked really cool. They had these stage performances. They put all this amazing stuff together with the stage performances, but I didn't even listen to their music. And somebody had a VHS tape of it, and it was like we'd play it in a VCR, and it was like Guar, but the guy died of heroin or something. He had partied so much he died of heroin. the lead singer and one of the other guys in the band, but they got really famous, and they're from Richmond, the band Guar. But I can't even think about that. It feels like guaring, killing someone. Like hurting me and my loved ones. I don't even like it. And they smoked all these cigarettes and did heroin, and it was like in Richmond. It was like they didn't have like brand new like nice. They didn't have like nicer suburbs as much unless it was outside of town. It was like this cool kind of, I don't know. But I tried to go there, and I thought maybe that's where I'd go. Want to go to college or try to do the cool things I like to do. And I was a skateboarder, and I was almost sponsored, not pro. I didn't know if I could go pro or not, but I thought maybe I could be sponsored. I could do tricks down steps and like kind of big steps at one time. By the time I was 17, that was about the best I was, and the best I was. And so I went to Richmond, and they had a little mini ramp. Those mini ramps made me feel like not as good. Something about the mini ramps didn't make me feel that good. And people like used it to like look down on me and make me feel bad. Something about a ramp, like not just a street ramp. A street ramp I was good at, like street skating. That's what I did. I was a street skater, and if they had like ramps that you kind of go up a little bit, but not a mini ramp, then I was good at it. But I still learned the mini ramp stuff, and it was okay enough at it. But this guy had a little mini ramp, and it was like kind of small and like weird, and it was in his house. It was in his house in Richmond. He built it into the house that they rented as college students, and I tried to go there and fit in Richmond, and I sprained my ankle really bad. Could barely walk for like 2 days or so, and I don't sprain it anymore. I found fucking strength training. Any motherfucker tries to do that shit to me, they can fuck off. I found strength training. I ended up spraining my ankle back then like 10 times, and I couldn't even do the skateboarding, and I had to sit down and study, like, and or walk around. It wasn't a problem back then. It was like, but it was like I had to. At least I could walk. At least I could walk, but I got very skinny. I got really skinny, and I learned how to study, and I felt like an old man. I felt like as attractive as an old man in the colleges, and they thought I was a freak. That I was a fucking freak. And and I had hair growing down in front of my eyes. I had an injury where the first day of school I tried to skate down steps and it hurt me because it had something to do with New York, and it was like Southern, or I don't know, and it just made me feel bad. And all the kids had little tiny blonde hairs on their arms and looked like perfect, and had a small waist and were in shape. And I just felt injured and hurt, and I had darker hair on my body and was supposed to be like a man, but instead, like, I don't know what I was supposed to do. And so I just went to school. That was what I was supposed to do. So I had to study and learn school, but it was hard for me to even hear what the fucking teachers were saying. And I had to go to all these schools, like, in the South, and feeling weak as shit, looking like a freak or something, with like braces and zits and some body hair that I tried to shave off, and it made it look red back then for some reason. And it just felt like shit. And like, some kid looked at me, remembered me from high school, because in high school I was like the leader of the pack. I was the leader of the pack of all the skateboarders. I was the coolest one. And there's another guy who's good looking, more popular, and there might have been ones who were a little, but I was like the leader of the pack of most of them, or I don't know. And I was cool, and I was best friends with that guy who was a good looking one. And so I went from that to and I lifted weights a little bit too in high school, and had abs. I didn't know I had abs because I still thought I was fat even though I had abs. And so then, like, I got really weak and had to just study really hard, and it didn't matter what I looked like. It didn't matter, it was just the work that I did in the school, and I had to do it right, and I had to study and do the work right, and I made like really good grades, and it sucked. And it sucked. But in Richmond, I thought I'd go to Richmond, and I kept spraining my ankles or something like that every time I went. One time, some kid gave me acid. Who I was friends with. He was like this kid. He had no hair on his body. He looked like uh, a white, super karate Asian, like martial artist in famous movies that was really tall and strong, and had this body that looked like it was out of a video game. And he was one of our best friends. And but his face looked white. He was white, but he had a Chinese name because he was like 1/8 Chinese, and it made him have no body hair. So he was like this young guy who was like a super athlete compared to most young blonde kids. But it was weird. He had like big giant eyebrows, and he plucked him to be really small. That was his only thing. that was his thing, that he had these big giant eyebrows that were like, he was a white kid, but it was some funny thing that, he had blonde hair on his body, and blonde hair on his head, or not on his body. I think he had no hair on his body, but he had blonde hair on his head, and he looked like out of the Street Fighter video game. He was really tall at 6'4", or 6'3" or 6'5". No, he was probably 6'4", and I don't know how tall he was really. And his dad lived in Richmond. And his dad was in really good shape too, and divorced from his mom. And I met him in Richmond, and he gave me acid. He gave me acid, and it felt like shit. I thought it'd be like Jim Morrison and Jimi Hendrix and some famous cool person, like the hippies. And I thought that's what acid was about. So I thought I'd try to do it, and it just made me feel so bad. And I felt bad about the way my nose looked, because my older sister was there, and she always had like an upturned nose, one of the most popular, but she made fun of the cheerleaders. The cheerleaders didn't like her, who were really blonde, because she had dark hair, but she had like really good looks, and guys were like obsessed with her and stuff growing up. She was really popular, but she like thought that she wasn't popular enough because the cheerleaders were like more blonde than her. And and she was my sister, but she made me feel bad about the way my face looked to be around her every time I went to Richmond, and how I felt. And like I sprained my ankles, it felt bad every time I went there, because she was like on top of it was like her favorite cool place to go, and it just, I don't know. And so, but sometimes I feel okay around her. It's just most of the time, until I got married, I felt like shit around my older sister. She always made me feel worse. She looked like the good looking one. She always made me feel like not as good looking, bad feeling. Like you could see the details of the pores that in my skin that didn't look right. Like some shit like that made me feel bad, like I wasn't good enough looking every time I was around her. Every time I was around her, until I got married. And then I was at one flesh with my wife, and I got confidence. I got confidence. I got really good looking and felt really good. And then she started looking like older and stuff, and like I looked really good right to her face, and she knew. And and her husband now thinks that that's just how I am. I'm like some famous guy who always has it good and always looks really good and stuff. And it's really weird how that happened, because it went on for like, since I was a kid, um, since I was like 14 or 15 until I was like, I don't know, but I didn't quite feel good enough around her. Like she always felt like she was confident and looked better and was more attractive and felt better every time she talked to me, until I met my wife. Then she started getting older and not feeling as good, and it sucks. And you know, but she was okay. I don't even know what it was like. Maybe I was crazy back then. Maybe I was crazy back then and I didn't even know. So I'm afraid to even walk out my door. I'm afraid to even walk out my door to mow the lawn for political reasons. You know, because I opened the door and it said Richmond. This will be Richmond. And that's where I sprained my ankles, felt bad. Some kid gave me acid, made me feel like my nose looked bad, and all this other crazy ass shit that I just used to be so worried about growing up, and it just wasn't a problem once I got older. And so I'm afraid to go out. No. I'm afraid to go out. I don't even know if I can mow the lawn. And then I was joking about the rally. That shit is awful. They used to joke about that. The rally, and then it really became the Trump rally. No. I gotta pee. I might turn this video off. But then I found Los Angeles. And for some reason, I went out there when I was a teenager in 1997. And I got my braces taken off. I didn't like the way my hair looked on my arms, but I just showed up there anyway with however I looked. And it was okay, but I felt like not, I don't know what I did. For some reason, I went into a grocery store and I got this wax to wax hair off, and I waxed the hair off my arms, so I didn't have hair on my arms the entire time I was there for like the summer to go to their video classes at this school, this art school. And it made it like I didn't have to worry about anything like that. And I got to skateboard in the sun to the school, and women noticed me, and girls noticed me, and I looked really good and felt good about myself. And the most popular, there are two of the most popular girls at the program. It was at Otis College of Art and Design, Otis College of Art and Design, a private art school. It's kind of expensive, but I just went for the summer, and it wasn't that expensive because I was like a teenager. Eventually, I went to a private school, but I was afraid back then to get my dad to pay for the tuition. But I went to, it was a private school, Otis College of Art and Design, and there's this hotel there, and it was amazing. We got to stay in the hotel. They rented like 2 floors, or a floor or two or three or something, a floor of the hotel room to put the students in for the summer of art. And there were like teenagers in there, and nobody had sex or anything like that that I knew of. It was just regular like dorms. But one of the girls liked me and would have done stuff like that, but I was afraid to. And and then I felt good there. I got to make videos. I made these videos and threw dummies, like, and filmed me on camera and stuff, and it was like, and it was fun, and I really liked it, and I was like, that's what I want to do. So I went home after that, and I was like, I want to move to Los Angeles. So I found some of the kids who were going to the school, but I thought it was too expensive for my parents to pay for a private school, and I just didn't want to go because I thought it was too expensive. And so I lived with them they had this apartment or something like that was like a condo apartment that was like, I think it was like 4 or 5 bedrooms, and every kid had a little place to live, and I just stayed in my room and was so afraid. And then as soon as I got there, it's like I thought I didn't look good enough, and it was just awful as shit. I just locked myself into the room so none of them could see me, and I didn't go to the school, and I worked out with these little weights, and I got really skinny because I thought I had to look like a rock star, so I got down to like 130 pounds and had a little small waist, a 30 waist, a size 30 waist. My butt looked and body looked really small. Like it was really weird. I had a size 30 waist. And then one time, two of the girls who lived there, which I never interacted with them, I didn't get to do anything, but I was like walking, and they watched me and they like laughed at me and stuff. But I was so not confident about my appearance. I thought like every inch of my body didn't look good enough. Like there's something wrong with I thought I didn't look good enough. I couldn't just be like the normal regular people like everyone else. And 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 I sat in these classes at UCLA. Like I went to the real like my grades weren't good enough to get in UCLA, so I didn't know any better, and I was a teenager, and I just walked into the school and pretended that I just walked into the school and sat in these big, some of them lectures and stuff, and I wore sunglasses because I wore sunglasses. I don't know why. I was really eccentric, and they all noticed me. And I had to like walk down to the front of the classroom with the sunglasses. And they're wondering why I wore sunglasses, and they all laughed and stuff, and they were wondering who I was and why I was wearing sunglasses. And then I wasn't famous, but I was trying to my body, the way it looked, I got it to look like Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. It was really crazy. Like I thought I had to be skinny back then. Like people had to be really skinny. It was like before I found weight training, strength training, and it just didn't work. That way doesn't really work unless you have strength training. It'll get so weak, and the skin will be a little bit looser and stuff, and it just doesn't. Unless maybe there's some way like Mick Jagger can do it if he's really dancing enough and stuff, or like even at his age, he might be able to. He got back in shape again, even at his age, but so I had like some weird groin injury that was on and off, like every few years. Like sometimes I couldn't walk for many months. I could barely walk around for many months. There's one time I was bedridden for 9 months, and I just edited and taught myself how to do all the editing I do. And it's like it wasn't quite strong enough. But when I found strength training, it made I thought my body was invincible. Hi, Eddie. I got a thought of him yesterday. It was like randomly, it was like doing something in my house, and all of a sudden Eddie, like his image that he uses. So I think I'm supposed to mow the lawn. But I don't know if I can even walk outside because I said all this. I yelled out all this mean ass shit. I hate it here. I hate the world. I hate this shit, or something like that. And so I don't even know if I can go outside. I said some crazy, not crazy, but I thought somebody was trying to be with my wife, and I had enough of it, and I went crazy, and then I just don't want to be with her anymore. And then I started thinking I'll just meet some new wife in Los Angeles and get really in good shape, and I didn't know what I'd do, but it's a little too much for politically how it is here right now. So I had to like act older in this video. But I was thinking I'd meet some new wife of my youth. It's really pretty bad or good, if that's I don't know, because she was the wife of my youth, and so she hasn't written back. And I'm supposed to have this tremendous patience that has been for like 8 years, and she took the kids to herself, and it has felt like I've been a prisoner in my own home, and I've wanted to kill myself 8,000 times, and she just would hardly ever write back anything back, and I didn't know how to be with my wife and kids, and so it's like, I don't know why I'd go, I don't know how much longer maybe I'll live a long time. Maybe somehow it'll be okay again. I'm really healthy, but here and there it affected my health that she took the kids away from me. But that got better, and it wasn't that bad. It was like I'd feel a little pain in my body or something. But it just has been awful without her and the kids, but I don't know. So I don't want to kill myself right now. And God has kept me away from violent ways of killing myself because I worked so hard on trying to be healthier, like drink water and I don't know. And no. And so like I'm really healthy. So it's like something about the idea of doing a big violent act to kill my body is pretty bad. Like, and I just haven't been. I can't do it. When somebody hangs themselves, it's like they'd have to be alive and suffering for like maybe 20 minutes, like really hurting their neck bad, and they'd have to keep living, and it would be like, I can't imagine hurting your body that bad. Like, how would it? I couldn't even kill. I probably couldn't even kill my body because it's so strong and healthy, and I work so hard to be healthy. And so it's like I just haven't been able to kill myself. And I was gonna breathe in charcoal the other day, like a few days ago, I think. And I just couldn't go on anymore with how she wouldn't write back, and she took the kids, and she made it difficult to see the kids a little bit. But I can see them. I can see them if I go to Texas, but it's her mother and father there, and they like show up and have to think about them or something. I just don't want to be around them. I want to be around her and the kids and everything okay. So I'm gonna sell this house, get tons of money, or more, way more than fucking tons of money. I'm gonna get a net worth that's pretty big because I suffered here. I worked for 18 years at houses. It sucked, and I got older a little bit, and not that much older, but I have a real net worth that's from my hard work and that I'm supposed to have, and so I'm gonna go to California and then just get a lawyer to get them to live in California so they can live near me in California. But her mom and dad, I don't know. It's just I can't keep going to Texas. And so, Texas, like big oil and political stuff, I don't like. But they had oil in California, but it was like with the movie industry, and they got along with it and stuff. It's just I don't like Texas as much as I don't know. You think about Texas, it's stupid. It's stupid. Janis Joplin was from there, but of course she never would have made it there if she stayed. She had to go to California to make it at being cool, at the stuff she liked to do. And they killed her anyway for just being a kind, good person who liked to do things she liked. I just don't know what's so fucking cool about Texas other than people who, they have like a few celebrities. It may as well be any random place, and I just don't like going there. But it's okay enough walking around the city and stuff. It's just they get angry when I got pissed at the entire place for them taking my kids there. It feels like I have to use a bathroom. I don't know. And so I was gonna mow the lawn, but I don't know what it's like to even walk out there because I said the meanest ass shit about everywhere in the country besides California because I was so tired of feeling bad. So I said the meanest ass shit, like it would all burn to shit or something like that in the most mean ass way I could. And then it was like to make up for it, I said I hope to God burns the entire world up and kills all of us instantly so we don't have to suffer anymore and brings us to heaven and we all get to go to heaven finally and not suffer anymore being alive. And that's what I said. So I don't even know if I can go out there to mow the lawn, but I had to say this racist shit to be like, yeah. Because I said it was racist as shit and stupid and the old ways of racism and white presidents of genocide of Indians and all the bullshit they stood for. And I wanted to go out to California and or something like that, or I don't know, not the genocide of Indians, but I said some mean things, and I just don't know, and I don't, and I have to use the bathroom. It's like in this neighborhood, they pretend I'm like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, I have to use the bathroom because they think I'm stronger because, like, people in this neighborhood are skinny. And it's been so hard it's been so difficult to fit in with them because they thought I was fat. They thought I ate too much food. And then I had to go through this really difficult stuff to get low enough body fat. And they acted like I was so huge and strong. Like, what the fuck? I don't do steroids. I'm not that strong. I just look kind of regular. I don't know why they think I was that strong. It's crazy. But maybe I was way more strong than I thought. Because I was like, I don't know. I'm going to put this on a tripod or something. I'm going to try to show some cool thing while I leave and go use the bathroom. But I'm afraid to show the outside. I'm supposed to mow the lawn. But like, I'm almost afraid to go out there. It just feels like I have to use the bathroom. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm almost afraid to go out there. So I'm just going to go out. I'll just put the camera out here and you can see what it looks like and think if it's good or bad or anything like that or something like that. It's not some big ass political shit. I'm trying to make this. I don't want to be here. I'm going to use the bathroom. I don't know what to say. I was going to mow this lawn. I'm going to mow that lawn. I might mow that lawn. I might mow that lawn. Okay. So here's the oil. I took the oil out of the lawnmower for the winter. I took the oil out of the lawnmower for the winter so it didn't like freeze in it wrong or whatever or stay too long in it. And I'm gonna put the oil back in the lawnmower like down there or something, or down there or whatever. And I'm gonna add some gas to it and I'm gonna mow. But in my college, I didn't get to party at all in college. I didn't party at all. And finally, when I had worked hard enough at college for however much I had to work, I finally got to do the cool classes that I liked instead of the regular classes they make you do to graduate and stuff that I didn't know if I liked or not. I finally got to do the cool stuff I really liked, like movies and stuff like that. And then I worked really hard. I was really good at it, and I liked to work at it. And then I got to actually make movies and stuff. So I never got high or drunk or anything like that ever when I was in California. And until near the very end, I missed being back at home partying with my friends in high school. And I would drink here and there, like the holidays, drinking at the holidays. But when I moved here, I didn't really party either. And I just did the work on the films and was good at it because I worked hard at it and I liked to do it. So I'm going to mow the lawn. I don't know if I'm missing anything important about that. Oh, but my friends, you know, they didn't end up partying back here, and I was married and had kids, and I don't know if I'll ever be married again, or if I'll marry somebody else or Danica, but I don't know what's going on with that. And so I'm just gonna put this oil in the lawnmower and put the gas in the lawnmower and mow. It's been turned off all. The lawnmower hasn't been on all winter. It'll just start right up. It was a new lawnmower I got last year to finally mow this lawn easy instead of those old timey little things that are hard to mow. So I finally got a real lawnmower like I had when I was a teenager, when I was a boy, when I was like 10 or 11 or 12. I got a lawnmower. I used to mow lawns. And I didn't do the weed eaters back then, but I just mowed a lawn. And so I used to mow my lawn. I used to mow when I was a kid. I mowed the lawn, so I'm gonna put the stuff in the oil and the gas in the lawnmower, and then mow the lawn probably. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. It feels pretty good. Here's a lawn mower. Praise God, praise Jesus. Go mow the lawn.
Fucking lawnmower, man. A fucking lawnmower. Don't say that. Don't.
This is from throwing bugs out the window. This is from taking bugs and throwing them out with a paper towel so I didn't have to touch them.
chimp. I'm a chimp. And that we're not from chimps. There's no evolution. We're human beings on earth. We're human beings. We're created by God. We're human beings. We're human beings. We're created by God. We're not from chimps. That's evolution. That's wrong. Praise God, praise Jesus, praise God, praise Jesus. I complained about this. I complained about this. Praise God, praise Jesus. I'm gonna get a funnel or something like that to put the oil in. The funnel. Okay. I got a funnel. It's a miracle. I got a funnel. Alright. Yep. Good. Praise God, praise Jesus. Praise God, praise Jesus. Ah! I spilled the oil, but I got it in. I got oil into the lawnmower. I got oil into the lawnmower. Praise God, praise Jesus. Praise God, praise Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Here's what you do. You prime the lawnmower, you press the button. You press the button like 3 times or however many times it says. On the side. I don't know if you can see it. You press a little squishy button 3 times and it primes it. Or something like that. Yeah. And you adjust the height and stuff like that, man. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a mechanic, so I don't know like how to repair it if it has some weird thing. That's my problem. That's why it's like I don't know. I think my dad doesn't do it, but he's aware of that stuff and he kind of knows about it. But it's like for some reason it just I don't know. I'd rather have it like a battery, everything. I don't know. It just is supposed to be gas. That's how I always did it. Gas and it had oil over them. I don't know. Come on, old Bessie. No, this is new last year. It has gas. Has gas. I don't know. Should start right up there. You can adjust this. You can adjust this thing. You can adjust the I don't even know. The thing that makes it like rev at a higher rate or rev at a lower rate, you can adjust that thing somewhere. I don't know if that has to do with that or not. Shit, no, I don't know where the, I'm trying to find where it is on this lawn. Oh, here it is. The, I think this is it. I don't know. I don't even know. Try to start it. I have to take a piss right now. I'd rather piss all over it and destroy it, incinerate it. I don't even know. I don't know if I can do it. I have to pee. Start. I think it's gonna start. I'll try to start the lawnmower. I'll try to start the lawnmower. Is this suspenseful? Like, what's gonna happen? Is this your? Let's start. Maybe start this lawnmower. Come on. Fuck, what? I have oil in it. Maybe it's at a funny angle. No, I don't know. Maybe it has to get. Maybe it has to get the oil and gas into the wall or something. I don't know. That doesn't do shit. Obviously, I'm fucking stupid. I don't give a shit about it. How does it fucking? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care about this shit. I want to go to California, hate all that shit, incinerate all this fucking work, make this country an avatar country where people live in the jungles and trees, where it's warm and they fucking get more healthy and strong and live off of nature, motherfuckers. Fuck lawns. I hate that shit. That's how I feel about that shit. Had to do it for fucking 18 years back here. Bye. Praise God. Praise Jesus.